What's up, everyone? This is Forge, and welcome to another Banger Wednesday. Those two bands we just listened to were bands that were featured on last week's episode. That was Ocean Harvest and Elijah. Two great bands. If you enjoyed them, I was just playing them off of our new Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist, and that is where you will find every band that shows up on the Banger Wednesday show. They will live there on the playlist for eternity for you to listen to. In the house tonight, we have 7 bands. We have Psychotic, who was on last week's episode, but we had some technical difficulties, so we invited him back. We have Shund, When Man Meets His Maker, Oceans in Silhouette, Distance is Dead, Vital Signs, AL, and Leveler. So, we have, like I said, we have a full Discord here with all these bands. If any of you guys want to unmute and say hi.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey. All right. Everyone can hear you loud and clear. Awesome. All right. So tonight we are going to go straight into it, and we're going to talk with Psychotic. And that is Brendan that joined us here tonight. So Brendan, why don't you fill us in again on your story and your song, so we can give it another go.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Go ahead.
Perfect. All right. So, last week I had a little bit of technical difficulties. I think I jinxed it. Deaf is about me losing half my hearing. Around 21, I found out that I was on the verge of needing hearing aids, and it was crushing for me. Flash forward a couple of years, and now I wear hearing aids, and I have tinnitus, and so it was just it felt like a midlife crisis. It was just very hard for me being a musician, and it was like one of my childhood fears realized. So this song is basically about my feelings around that, and just I've had this chord progression for 6 or 7 years, the actual chord progression, and so it's just very sentimental to me.
Yeah, and that's an amazing story, and that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to get him back here, because especially as a musician, hearing is it's key, and to have to battle that, so you can enjoy something you love, that's got to be crushing. So to hear that you are able to overcome it and create music, that's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So I don't want to talk about it too much. So let's go ahead and hop straight into his song. It is entitled Death. Here we go. All right, man. I keep saying it, and I'm not tired of saying it yet. It's just banger after banger after banger, man, and that's an
Yeah, it's been a
amazing
good
song. That is an amazing song, and I was looking at chat while we were playing along, and one thing I do like about this track is there's so many elements from so many different subgenres I found in that track. I saw I think a few people mention Inner Shikari. It reminded them Barry Tomorrow. Um, it I even felt like I heard some subtle As I Lay Dying drum resemblance there. Definitely a ton of metalcore. Definitely a ton of metalcore. But I loved it. There was a lot of elements that it was really hard to put a finger on, and I don't want to say label you guys, but definitely was hard to put a finger on who you reminded me of, which was a great thing, and that's what makes you you. I'm just kind of scrolling through chat here real quick to see if there's any questions on anything or missing. So Edith Chino said, there's drum ideas. All right. I'm seeing some comments. You guys are having some backfeed, huh? Let's see. Let me poke around at it for a second.
Yeah, I kind of heard some
Okay.
in the background too.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, in the meantime, let's see if we have any questions from anyone in chat. Brendan. Okay, yeah, I do see the chats. Then we're getting some backfeed, I guess. I'll sweep it while we talk to Brendan. All right. Well, Brendan, I tell you what, I do have some questions.
Yeah.
Are you on sevens? Or are you on six strings?
All right, so what's fun about that song is it starts on a 7 string, and then for the very ending riff, I actually switch over to my 8 string.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah. Definitely.
I just
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, my apologies. So if I were to do that live, that'd definitely be a challenge. But like, I did everything for that song. The only thing I didn't do was maybe a couple drum fills and like produce it. But like, I did the vocals. I'm only like 2 years in on vocals seriously. But yeah, I really liked how everything sounded. But I was like, you know what? I need something heavier. And I was just like, you know what? Just grab my 7 string or my 8 string and like hit the open. And it sounded great. I was like, you know what? So it goes from F sharp to D sharp, and I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, it was an awesome track, man. And again, it's just really awesome that you're having to fight with the hearing impairment. I don't want to call it an impairment, but the challenge, and you're still able to come up with something that sounds good, man. It's a great song.
Thank you. I drove like I got some inspiration and like comfort from like Tony Iommi, for example.
Okay.
Like, because like he lost the tips of his the middle playing fingers,
Hmm.
and yeah, then he like wore the little. It was like thimbles for like sewing, and because of that, he like skipped tour from like going on tour with one band, and then stayed with another. I mean, Black Sabbath was created basically because of that, so it's just really cool to me in that sense. And then like trying to like for example, like I think like I looked up. There's a few big name artists that have hearing issues, and then I also thought of just like Beethoven and everything. So like, yeah, I don't know. I'm stoked to get the positive feedback, and I hope you all enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Chad, I did look into it. I think I may have solved that problem. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next band. And at any time, if you guys are hearing that issue again, just speak up in chat, and I'll catch it and research it. But I think we're good now. Okay. Oh wait. Actually, I have a question for you, Brendan. One question: are there any challenges you face with mixing or recording? Since you do have that issue, how were you able to get through those?
feel like sometimes it might be an issue in terms of like what I hear compared to other people, but I think that's also why it's a good idea that I go through my mixing engineer, so that way at least it's like one other person listening to it other than just me. And then so I mean I haven't really had a whole lot of issues in terms of like guitars or recording or anything. I think mostly it's just like a mental thing, and then just making sure that I like stick, like I get my hearing checked yearly, and yeah. And if I do lose my hearing, I saw on America's Got Talent there was this one lady who was I found incredibly inspiring and comforting for me. Is that she like feels the vibrations through her feet, and she's completely deaf, like lost her hearing, like I have. So even if that were a thing, there's other musicians out there who have made it work.
Yeah, definitely, man. If there's a will, there's a way, man. So don't ever let it stop you for sure. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna keep this show moving, and I got Shund in the house, and I believe I have Bryce here with me. So Bryce, why don't you unmute yourself and say hi?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man, cool. So why don't you give us a little background, either into the band or this track you submitted? Let us know what we're in for.
Okay. So we're just a four-piece, mostly just friends, that came from other bands and stuff like that. We started because a lot of the projects we were in had kind of grown stagnant, and we did this just to kind of have some fun. We actually went through one vocalist. We've only got 2 tracks out right now. We went through one vocalist, and now we're on to the second one, which is a good friend of ours that we grew up with, and works out much better. He's on this track, and from what he said, I guess this song is about his boss or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, we did this project for fun, so I hope you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of us have a lot to say about our bosses. That's a great song idea for sure. Okay, cool. All right, so without further ado, let's hop straight into that track. And again, chat in the bands themselves. If you guys hear any weird feedback, let me know. I'll fix it. But I think we're good to go. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and play Shund's track, Give and Take. Here we go. All right, all right, all right. Letting that track finish up to the very last second before I cut it off. Like I said, we play it from the beginning to end. Now I got ads. Fix that. All right, all right. So, let's see. Do we have any questions in the chat for Shund? Roll back. Well, I'm not seeing any just yet, but I do. And as you guys know, I love asking gear questions. What are the guitars you guys are using? Are we on 6s, 7s, 8s, 25s?
These are baritone 7 strings.
Nice.
We're using LTDs. Yes, sir.
Nice, nice. And I do have a question here. Where are you guys based out of?
So we're based out of Midland, Texas. We actually recorded this track in Lubbock, Texas with Burnt House Records. They're some pretty good friends of ours. So if y'all ever need any mixing or mastering, hit those guys up.
Nice, nice, nice. I like it, man. Another question. Where are you guys pulling your inspiration from? Do you have particular bands you guys pull from, or?
So I mean, I guess all of us kind of bring some different aspects to the table. The drummer we actually sourced, he's been mostly in hardcore bands in the past, and he grew up in the scene with us. And all of the other members have kind of been sparse. I mean, the vocalist, as you can tell, has been in hardcore bands as well, and we've all kind of been in deathcore bands. The guitar players have, so it's kind of fun to mesh. And you know, we've been compared to like Harm's Way, but I mean, there's a lot of different aspects that come into that, because I right now currently write for 4 different projects, and I write most of the guitar work. So
Oh, nice. Yeah, and
it's fun to do something different.
yeah, and speaking of the guitars, again, we have some other people. They want you to drill down a little bit more on those LCDs. Which ones are you using specifically?
So we recorded that through an Axe FX using the LTD Black Metal,
Okay.
and it's got the Black Winter pickup in it.
Oh, the Black Winners. Those are cool. I like those.
Yes, it's this very very interesting sounding guitar. I mean, lots of clarity, something that I definitely wouldn't use on other projects, but for what we're trying to do here, it is just sounds killer.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you guys have a bunch of core background, and you can definitely hear it in that track. A lot of core inspiration, and you guys are dancing around on some metalcore there too. Great track,
Yes,
great track. Definitely love it.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, and can we find you guys on just all the streaming platforms, or are you guys on particular ones you like to really push?
So we're on all major streaming platforms, and we're hoping to have a little bit more refined uh, EP or something coming out soon. We've been working on it and writing. Our drummer's actually moving to India in February, so we're trying to hammer some of this stuff out before he gets out of here. But I really appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to us, and I really appreciate you having us on here.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, and for everyone listening at home, all these plugs will be on YouTube, and all of these bands will be on the Banger Wednesday playlist on Spotify for you to go back and listen to whenever you want, on the drive to work or just laying in the tub if that's what you do. It'll be there available. Now, I do want to take a moment to do a couple shout outs because I have some very important people in my chat that I really want to talk about. Pain and Gain 1865, are you still here? I know I saw SXK and Broski. Are you guys all still here? Waiting to see if they chat. Anyway, yeah, those 3 people right there are part of the reason why we're here doing this show. So obviously I'm a musician first, and then I had this wild idea. Hey, let me go ahead and stream and get some bands on here and try and help the community out and to be heard. And I met these 3 streamers, and they have been mentoring me along the way. Got me hooked up with how to use Twitch, how to stream, how to get all this crap working, and they've shown up to every show. And they were here earlier. They may have stepped away, but they are amazing game streamers. So if you guys could take a moment, go to Twitch, find them, follow them. Following people on Twitch is absolutely free. for you guys, but it gives so many opportunities to the people that are streaming. So make sure you go find them and show your support, because they're a huge part of the reason that we're able to do this tonight and get your music heard. So take a moment, shout them out in chat, go find them. And I just wanted to say that real quick before we move on to the next band. So with that said, we're going to move on to When Man Meets His Maker. I should have John here in Discord. John.
Had to unmute.
There you go. All right, John. Why don't you give us a little backstory into the band and this track, and I'll get it queued up while you do so.
I'll try to keep it super short. We actually formed like in 2003, and we're active live band through 2005. Had a lot of fun here. We're based right outside Philadelphia. And we got back together after breaking up now and again throughout the years. And the song you're going to be playing is from 2016, from a small stint. We are together again now. We have a new single coming out on the 1st, and I want to start all the promotion I can. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, as they say, reunited, and it feels so good. Here we go.
Exactly.
All right. So let's hop straight into it and listen to this track. When Man Meets His Maker, Heartless, featuring Ryan Hogan. Here we go.
Yet I fear the unknown.
All right. All right. When man meets his maker, that is definitely a banger. Just like all the other ones before it too, man. We're having a great show so far. I love it. All right. Let's see. I'm scrolling back through chat here. I see some people commenting. Dark Sermon Vibes by Bryce SOT, I guess. And Leveler Official. Vocals give major dark tranquility vibes. I agree. I'm familiar with those. Definitely, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think the biggest thing for me was that time change for that breakdown. I kind of wasn't expecting it, so it caught me off guard at first. But it was great. I loved it. It was very well done, very well placed, and it hit hard, man. Love it.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So let's see here. What? Let me ask you this. Guitar tuning. What guitar tuning were you guys in?
We're in standard A sharp
Okay.
on sevens.
Okay, that's what it was. I could tell it was lower, but it just wasn't hitting like a drop tuning, you know?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We've been standard since 03, but we were on 6 strings back in the day.
Yeah.
We moved to 7s in 2011.
It's funny, like whenever you've played music for so long, how you can catch those little bitty differences, and you know something's not like it's supposed to be in my mind, because I love drop, but it was
Yeah.
but that's why your guitar tracks were also so very clean too, because there's just something about standard tunings. I don't know, it's just like a weird clarity that you sometimes lose in some of the drop tunings. So I love that about the track for sure. Standard is definitely not my cup of tea for my play style, but I do love it whenever it pops up in songs, because it's just got that tone that's hard to get in drop sometimes. It's great. And you said you guys are out of Philly?
Yeah, just outside of the suburbs of Philadelphia, basically.
Right on. And where is all this music at? Can we find it everywheres?
Yeah, we're on all streaming platforms. We're now on like every social media you can find with our long ass band name. It's abbreviated to WMMHM Band on Insta, Facebook, all of them.
Nice. And I'm just looking through chat real quick. I don't see any other questions. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to the next band?
The only thing, because I didn't even realize it, because we have the new single coming out, I just picked the last thing we did to feed to you for today.
Sure.
And it kind of hits home, because the guy that's featured on throughout the breakdown, the vocals, the guest vocalist Ryan Hogan, he passed away like a year and a half ago. So that song has like a whole new meaning now, even though we did it back in 2016. Now that he's gone, it's a bit listening to it, you know?
Oh yeah, and that's the thing about music, man. It is going to live on long past our days for sure. You know,
Exactly.
You're leaving a legacy behind, so you know you write it, you put it out there, and it's out there forever. Great way to be remembered too.
Exactly.
All right, awesome. Well, let's keep this show chugging forward. We got Oceans in Silhouette, and I believe I have Ben in Discord with me. Say hi, Ben.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hey.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh man, thank you for joining us. It's always great when we get the bands in here, so everyone can ask all the questions they want. Yeah, so let's talk about this track you guys submitted. I believe it's called Surrender to Silence. And why don't you give us a little backstory to you guys and the track itself?
Yeah, so the track has a vocalist featured on it, Miguel Alves, that I have another track out with too. Both of them were released in the last like 3-4 months. They've been doing like really well on Spotify. Miguel is just like a mind-blowingly good vocalist. He has his own band called Save Us that, if anyone's ever heard of The Memorist, it's a lot of the dudes from The Memorist, and then this guy Miguel. And we're here in Northern California, and I've had like, this prog metal project for a little while, and started putting out tracks with vocals now. Miguel's first one. It's a little more like melodic metalcore stuff, so definitely a lot lighter than the tracks we've been going through so far. But if anybody's into like Dayseeker, The Plot in You, that kind of sort of stuff, this should hopefully hit home for you.
Oh yeah, those bands are definitely on my playlist for sure. And again, this is something I had brought up in the last episode. The metal community kind of gets I I don't want to say it gets a bad rap, but it gets bundled into this one stereotype, I guess, that in the mainstream, whenever they hear the word metal, they automatically think that we're all black and white face paint, singing about sacrificing babies and summoning Satan and all that stuff, which is, it's great. You do you put out what you want to put out, but I mean, the range in the metal genre as a whole is so large. And like you said, you guys probably are going to bring a little bit of the, I don't want to say softer side, because I mean, it's probably still not soft. It's just a little softer. And then obviously we do have, the black and white face painting, sacrificing babies. But I always like to say that the metal genre has something for everyone, and they probably just don't know it. And that's the beauty of doing shows like this, and we're not pigeonholed to one subgenre. This is all metal from A to Z, and so I love the variety. I'm glad you brought it. So we're gonna go hop straight into it and see what it's about. So here we go with Oceans in Silhouette. Here we go. right, man. Well, so I got so much I want to say about this song, but we can only fit this show in, a smaller period of time than I'd like. All right, first off, I do have some things I noticed in chat we will get to. But first off, you said Dayseeker. I get it. And second of all, I'm so stoked that this is the track that you sent me. Every Wednesday we have some great bands, and they're all hard hitting and all great songs. And just like I was saying before the track, the metal genre is so wide, and there's so many subs that get overlooked. And so this is the first time we've had a song that came in kind of filling this particular subgenre. And man, you nailed it. I love it.
Thank you.
A great example of a song that people that really don't like the chug and the blah and everything else, that may love rock and hard rock, and this could be like their gateway into metal, and they're missing out on it just because it's metal. It's just a great example. And again, I'm gonna go talk a little bit more on because I'm a guitar player. Your lead phrasing was amazing. The use of the whammy on your leads, again, amazing.
Thank you.
Technically, it's great playing, and it just it lends itself to a great sounding song. And it's another example that you see it on some YouTube content creators. They call it riff salad, where they just kind of play the same riffs, or they're just trying to be constantly fast and shred, and they don't learn how to phrase their leads and whatnot. And you just showed how being tasteful and restraining that ability, because obviously you can shred, but you decide to hold back in this song, and it's just beautiful. And
Thank you.
and I'm gonna stop talking because I could talk all night, because I love guitars. I love guitar playing, and this song was just very well done. In chat, a few people pointed out your guitar. I was trying to put a finger on which brand it was. It almost, the headstock reminded me of a comparison, but I'm pretty sure it's not. So what were you playing on?
So the guitar is actually a Vola Vasti PDM 7J1, I think is the full model name. But if you know Novelists, the band from France, their guitarist Pierre Daniels, who's just a mind-blowingly good musician in all aspects. It's his signature model through them, and I was lucky enough to get one as kind of a little artist demo thing from Vola, and do a little video for them. And I love the guitar to pieces. It's everything you could possibly want, because like you said, I can play a lot of shreddy stuff, but I also like doing things that are more serving for the song. Try to keep things in line with, does this advance what I'm trying to say, or is this just me trying to show off? And this guitar does a really good job of allowing me to do that, and having such great tone and balance between being heavy and doing really juicy lead stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It was. Your tone was great, and because your tone was so great, you could hear everything you were doing perfectly, all the little nuances, and again, that whammy hit. It was just so well done. Ryan is heartless. He was kind of backing me up. He goes, "Yeah, riff soup. This song was the opposite of that. Tasteful is for sure the right description." So yeah, well done, Devontae. This is Devontae from Vital Signs. I love the way you let your leads paint a poetic moment within your song. Love it.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, guys. It's always kind of are people going to like the lighter thing? Like you said, sometimes it can be really good gateways. Sometimes people are like, no, I need chugs and screaming and breakdowns. So getting that feedback from people who are obviously in a lot heavier bands, knowing that I'm still writing something that hit the spot for them, that's really great feedback to get. So I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Bryce is asking if you have physical copies of the music, or is it just digital?
So we just have the digital downloads. We do have some physical merch out as far as shirts go, but we have to get because like I said, this is just featuring that vocalist. I've got 5 or 6 more tracks coming out over the next couple of months with different vocalists. Some of them are actually a lot heavier than this one, getting into some like almost like death metal kind of stuff.
Right.
Some really heavy tracks. So once those are all out, I'm going to do some printing of like a full EP. Just once I have enough stuff so that it justifies like somebody spending money on it, you get more than a couple of songs.
Right, for sure, definitely. Again, I'm stoked because I've been waiting for a song like this to come along on the show, just because I do have people that drop in and listen that that aren't in the metal community, that are just people I've met along the way, and they're just trying to show support, and I know. Again, I'm trying. It's like a gateway drug. I'm trying to get them hooked so they come and listen to everybody's stuff and enjoy the chugs too. I just gotta, slowly ease them in. So I'm very thrilled that we had something in that subgenre to finally show everyone what the metal community is about. The range that we have, it's I feel the metal genre is the widest range out of all the genres. I mean, pop from A to Z sounds exactly the same.
Sounds like pop.
yeah. Rock from A to Z sounds like rock. Country from A to Z sounds like country. But A to Z in metal, it's just so different. I mean, you're dancing on the line of rock, but you're definitely still metal. And then again, the other side is the black face paint and baby sacrifices and stuff, which is great. But it's just a long
is an episode of Metalocalypse.
Yeah. It's just such a different change up, man. It's great. I love it, and that's what it's about. Okay, man. Again, for everyone listening at home, and for those listening in the future, because again, this will be on YouTube later. For those that missed the live show, they can watch it on YouTube. All of these bands tonight will be added to the Banger Wednesday playlist. So you can listen to them all in all of their glory, anywhere as you are and anywhere as you have access to Spotify. So again, Ben, thank you for joining us. It's a great song, and we're gonna move along.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So let's see. I did hear some Discord people hop in. So if I get to your band and I don't have your name, just chime in and say you're here with the band too. But up next, we're going to hop on to Distance is Dead, and I have Dominic, and I don't know if I have anyone else now.
And Ryan. We have Ryan with us now.
Okay, so that was, I knew I heard someone come in. Great. So,
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Ryan.
You as well. Glad to be here.
Great, man. All right, so we have the song Memories, I believe, is the track you guys submitted. Go ahead and give us some backstory on the band and you. Of course, Ryan, for those that don't know, Dominic was here on a previous episode with Distance is Dead, and we had a band drop out tonight, so I reached out to him and asked him if they wanted to come back and do another track, and he said yeah, so here we are. Ryan wasn't here last time, so now we can maybe pick his brain a little bit more. So you guys go ahead. The floor is yours. Give us some band insight and some track insight while I get it queued.
Yeah, for sure. So I know Dom was on here last week, but basically Dom and I met on TikTok. Actually, we would duet each other's posts on there. I would post a guitar riff with some drums, for instance, and Dom would come in with some vocals, and this kept happening back and forth until we finally decided to write a song together, which was the song that was featured last week. But happens that we just released a new song called Memories this previous week on Friday. So we dropped that on December 15th. This song we've actually been working on and off for about a year, actually. I think it's been a year since Dom first duetted it with his vocals. So it's a different take on older metalcore, I would say. You guys can all chime in once you hear the song. Dom, what would you say?
Yeah, definitely a different take. Adding like kind of some rap elements, almost like rapcore, screamo, like rapo. I don't know what the heck you'd call it, but it's yeah, it's unique, I think.
So for the sake of me trying to play the guessing game here, so you're saying rapo kind of screamo. Are you talking like maybe a genre similar to what what's those guys? It's Ronnie Radke's band's name.
Yeah,
Falling in
Falling in Reverse. Will we be kind of touching on that genre a little, maybe? Is that what we're in for a little? You think?
Yeah, I could say that. Definitely not as like geared towards like the hip hop and like synths and like straight hip hop into like more metal riffs, but
Okay.
kind of more like, I don't know, you could say like Linkin Park esque kind of.
Okay.
I don't know. What would you say, Ryan?
Yeah, I would say in that same vein, and then you'll notice the guitars are very much along the lines of like older Killswitch Engage, As I Lay Dying, Darkest Hour. Those are a lot of the bigger influences on this song.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that does give me a little bit more of a different feel. I get you now. Okay. But I just had to guess. I couldn't refuse the opportunity to do it. So all right. Yeah. So you know what? Let's just hop straight into it because I'm anxious to hear how this sounds. So here we are with Distance is Dead, and the song is called Memories. So here we go.
Forget the memories, that's all that they can say. There's no understanding me, something they can't relate. The past is green, look deeper, this guy's not the perceiver. Can't forget my past, can't look back every day.
All right. Sorry about that. Almost went to the next song. Okay. Well, I have a few things to say on that one for sure, and I saw a few things in chat too that we're going to touch on. So let me go ahead and be nice and let chat go first this time because I talked a lot last time. Yeah. So a lot of mid 2000 vibes, says Bryce. So Ryan, I see Ryan here talked in chat saying the guitar solo was done by a close friend of his who's trying to get back into the writing game. A well done solo. He just needs to keep writing, man. That's all it is. Level Official, that was awesome. Very well done. Bryce really enjoyed it. No Hope 11, love that guitar solo. Yeah, I mean, it was a great track, man. Really great. So now my turn. Tuning, were you guys in drop D or drop C? I feel like you were in that range.
This is a drop C.
Okay. Yeah. So I love that tuning. That's definitely like a huge metalcore class. I'll say classic metalcore tuning. That's what Killswitch was in. All that remains. As I Lay Dying started off in D, but ended up going to C, and then ended up going lower. But yeah, C was huge back in the day. New metal too. Mudvayne was in C, if I remember right. Drop C. But so when we were trying to give you bands to reference, or you were trying to give us bands to reference and get a feel before we went into it, I made a pretty bad guess, obviously, with Ronnie Radke and those guys. But after listening to it, I know who you guys kind of remind me of. So yes, a little bit of As I Lay Dying, but I feel like with Dominic's vocals and that tuning and whatnot, you guys remind me a lot of some of Mice and Men. I don't know if you guys are into that band or not, but yeah, that vocal combination with that tuning and the riffs you were playing, I was like, man, that's definitely feeling like some of Mice and Men esque going on there. I see some Bryce said it also kind of reminded him of some In Flames, which is also another great metalcore band. But yeah, it's a great track. So you guys are obviously collaborating after meeting on TikTok, so I guess you guys are going to keep pumping out some more tracks, right?
Oh yeah, we've got a few more in the works right now, actually.
Is it going to end up being like an actual album, or are you just guys going to keep pumping singles?
We're gonna do an EP next. We were actually just talking about this last week, because the streaming platforms don't let you do a lot with just singles, and so we want to release an EP at the very least, just to be able to do the pre-saves across the board, across all the streaming platforms, and actually put something out there that's not just a single, because everybody's just doing single lately, and it's kind of getting monotonous. So we want to give people something lengthy to
Yeah.
listen to.
Yeah, and you know what? And in defense of a lot of bands, that's the way a lot of people have been going, because that's how the platforms have been pushing. Like Spotify's been a huge leader that they feel like bands should be dropping a single at least once or twice a month. And they hate whenever bands release a whole album and don't do anything till the next album. For some reason, they hate it. They say it drops their numbers somehow, but we all know they're still making money. But yeah, they've been instigating that with the promise that if you push out single after single after single, you'll make more money, and everyone's just been going into it that way. But it's good to hear you guys are actually going to do an album, because I agree, man. Pumping singles is great, but having that full length album definitely it does help in the long run, especially with the algorithms and stuff. Having an album helps. But yeah, so you guys are collaborating. Who else are you guys playing with?
Right now, it's just the two of us. We end up collabing with like a random person here and there, but other than that, it's just Dom and I. Honestly, we collabed with my buddy Tony for that solo because I got so frustrated trying to write a solo that fit that song that I just gave up and asked him to do it, and he ended up coming out with that banger there. So
Yeah,
worked
nice.
out well. That's actually why we didn't release the song like a year ago. Was waiting on me to stop being a stubborn person and finish a guitar solo. So I finally just had a buddy do it.
Right on. Well, yeah, like you said, your buddy, he was trying to get back into writing. He just needs to stick with it, because it definitely was great. He's got the skill, he's got the ear. He just needs to keep doing it, man. It was great. How about you, Dom? You got anything? I know we've been doing a lot of talking for you.
No, I mean that pretty much covers everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're excited for the EP. We're getting working on that, and then hopefully we can get to a point where we're, not a year break between what we're releasing or anything. So we're excited to start pumping out some music more consistently, and just I don't know, we both really enjoy it. I mean, Ryan's one of my best friends now. We never even met in person, but
Yeah.
we're sitting here making freaking music from states away, so it's great.
Yeah. It's
But
amazing.
yeah, we're excited for the future. 2024 is going to be flipping great.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great year for music in general. I think everyone's been pumping out some great stuff recently, and this shows just like proof of the quality, how good everything's getting just as a whole. So yeah, 2024 ought to be amazing. But let's see. So remind me, Dom, you're in Washington, and Ryan is where?
Yep.
I'm in San Francisco.
Okay. So two West Coast boys.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on. Okay. So let's see. I'm just double checking chat, make sure there's nothing new to talk about. No. Okay. But yeah, so you guys are going to be pumping out new tracks and albums, and this is for all the bands on this show. This isn't a one-hit wonder for you guys. If you ever want to come back with some new tracks, you guys know where to find me. Hit me up, and we can definitely have you back. Obviously, this is Dom's second time. I love bringing bands back, and just keep in touch, man, because I have not been disappointed with any band's song since I started doing this, and I love seeing what comes next. So definitely keep in touch, and if you guys want to come back, hit me up. Let's do it. So with that said, we're gonna keep on going. The next band we're gonna talk to is Vital Signs AL, and I know I got Devontae, but did someone else hop in for your group? Oh, yep.
Yeah. So I brought in my guitarist Thomas. He was able to come in and join in with us, so we wanted to bring him on board. So welcome, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Doing good. So, if I am looking at this correctly, the song is called Witness Destruction, correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, why don't you guys give us a little backstory behind the band and this track, and I'll get it ready to go.
Yeah. So with the band here, it got started where back in like March of 22, me and my other guitarist, who's not here with us, Cass, we was like, you know what? Let's try to get some stuff going and try to like write something. So it started off with just a simple riff and like one beat, 2 takes, and that's how we just came up with Hands of Fate. But then forming the band, we eventually got my brother Peyton, and then eventually Bailey, and then Thomas was the final piece to put this all together. So as far as like our makeup, like our sound is more on the metalcore, hardcore sound. So if you can think of like, say for instance, throw a little bit of the riff is from like Silosis mixed with like breakdowns, kind of like Silent Planet and Body Count, kind of like mesh it in, put in Breaking Benjamin as a little spice. Then that's probably how you got us the sound. So
Nice.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds like an interesting mix. I see Thomas over there shaking his head. You got anything to add to that, Thomas?
Man, I don't really come from a particular genre as far as a background, but it's all metal to me at the end of the day. And I like really heavy riffs, and I like chugging riffs, and I just like just bashing out on the rhythm guitar and seeing people go nuts, man. That's why I'm here.
Right. So Thomas, your guitar, and Devontae, you are what? I'm sorry.
I play the triangle, so
Oh, okay.
you know.
Okay. All right.
I play drums. So
Right. Nice. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys were throwing down on this track, so we can keep you guys in mind while we're listening. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just hop straight into the track. This is Witness Destruction by Vital Signs AL. Here we go. All right. Man, that Spotify's on point today. I mean, the minute the track ends, it's already starting another track. But yeah, that's a good song, man. Hop straight in the chat. I saw someone Leveler official. They love your guitar tone. I agree. It was a very very good sounding tone you had there. So riddle me this. What's the what tuning you guys are in, and are you on 6s or 7s?
So my guitarist Cass, he's on an 8 string. He plays the Ibanez.
Okay.
The standard's B standard
Okay.
in tuning.
Okay.
And Thomas, he plays on a 7, so he's also an Ibanez. So yeah, we're in standard tuning.
Okay, yeah, and again, like we said earlier with one of the other bands, whenever that standard tuning comes into play, it's crazy how so subtle it is sometimes. But like especially us guys that play, guitar, you can or a lot of musicians really, you can hear that subtle, just like a little extra clarity turned up because you're in that standard tuning compared to the drop tuning. It's just weird how that works. But yeah, it was a great sounding track, great sounding tone. I mean, it got pretty brutal in there for a second. It was definitely a banger for sure. So is this one single, or you got a whole album? Are you dropping singles, or what's the plan?
So the game plan is eventually we're gonna probably drop 2 singles, probably somewhere in January or February, give or take. It's just based off of the recordings. But this song, "Witness Destruction," actually is the ending of our debut EP, which we released back in June. And our goal is now to just start kind of like getting songs written. But although I do like this singles thing, I don't want to be so dependent on dropping single after single after single, because you'll end up not having like a whole structure to put it together. So we want to kind of have like a storyline to kind of like follow through with as far as our songs. So we can release singles every now and then, but eventually, hopefully, we can try to persuade the musical community to go back to EPs and albums. But I get that we have such a small attention span whenever it comes to listening to different music, because there's so much going on. So
yeah, and just to piggyback on what you were saying, it changes the whole I guess the idea of storytelling when you're writing music. Whenever you're just dropping singles here and there and everywhere, you do get that disjointed story. Either because you guys took a little bit more time to write the second one compared to the first one, you took too long of a break between, or just your moods change. Because as musicians, we all know that whenever your mood changes, a lot of times your music and writing changes. So you get a definitely more cohesive track listing, so to speak, whenever you're doing an album and you're sitting down and you're planning an album out at one time, as opposed to dropping single after single after single and then coming back around and say, okay, let's put all this together into an album. So yeah, I definitely feel that. Now we do have a question in chat. They want to know where you guys are from. I already know because I asked ahead of time, but let's let the listeners know.
So we are from Birmingham, Alabama, and I do want to piggyback on the guitars because I just play drums and I can scream sometimes, but guitars is kind of way out of my league. But I was going to say that Cass actually plays on a 7 string and Thomas plays on a 6.
Okay.
By the way, so
cool.
Had to give that clarity there.
Yeah. So for the people in chat, that's why it was how I announced it was Vital Signs AL, because they include the AL in their band name, so that way they can beat the search algorithm, and whenever you search for them, you'll find them. And for just I guess fun fact, because I know a bunch of useless BS when it comes to the music scene. For those of you that are out there that love the band Novelist, and if you guys notice, it's Novelist FR. That's because they're from France, Novelist FR. So whenever you search for them, you're going to find them and not the other Novelist that I think is in the U.S. And I don't even know if they're the same genre or not. But yeah, same thing. So that's a smart move on your part. Definitely is a way of beating the algorithm, getting you up on the search engine so people can find you easier. So I applaud you on that. So another question here. Interesting. 1/6 and 1/7. Does a 6-string guitarist tune down lower to match the 7?
Believe it or not, they actually tune together. They're both in B standard tuning. So
okay.
The only thing is that I think my guitarist Cass may drop is like to drop V, but everything else is pretty much B standard tuning, or as
Yeah.
far as I know.
Yeah. So, and I guess just to piggyback on Ryan's question and your answer, yeah. So depending on the tuning, you can do that. You can just match, and it works out great because I actually had done that on a couple of mine. In fact, I'll tell you what. At the end of the show, I normally pick a song for the outro. I'll do one from my band, and we actually did the same thing. So I got 2 rhythm guitars. One's on a 7-string, and then I did the other rhythm guitar with a 6-string baritone, and it just matched tunings, and it worked out great. A little bit different tone when you get into the chugging, obviously, but yeah, as far as tuning goes, they definitely match. So it's doable. You just gotta make sure you're in the right tuning, cause otherwise, it gets a little funky. Especially for my tunings, because the song I'll play later on is actually in drop F sharp, and that is pushing the limits of a 6-string baritone and a 7-string. So yeah, it got a little wonky there, but we had to reset up the guitars, and it worked out great. Yeah, that's exactly right, Ryan. He said probably helps with the stereo with having the different timbres, but for sure, yeah. I mean, it's a great track, guys. And so right now, you guys available on all platforms, or are you just on Spotify, or you guys on YouTube, and TikTok, and all that too, or?
Yeah, so we're pretty much on all social media platforms, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon Music. We're trying to work a little bit more into it because we just played our 1-year anniversary this past Saturday, and mind you, beforehand, 3 of the 5 people that's in the band have never played in a band before. So we're still kind of new to things. So it's been a great ride so far.
Oh yeah.
But we'll definitely do a lot more work in the future. And like I said, we got a couple of tracks that next year we're aiming to release it early 2024.
Yeah, and that's something that it's interesting for you to say because whenever you're playing by yourself and then you start playing with bands, honestly, that's whenever you really start to excel as writers. I mean, yeah, we can all sit in the house and practice things by ourselves all we want. But whenever you start writing, and writing by yourself and then writing with other people and seeing how they attack things and come up with ideas and how you can bounce ideas back and forth, that's when you really start to blossom as a musician. So I'm glad to see you guys are, diving headfirst into it, and you're obviously off to a great start. It's a great track. So, just keep working together. And I think you guys got a bright future in music, man. It's great track so far. Great.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming, man. Again, I say this on every show, and I've yet to been proven wrong. It's just every episode is bangers after banger after banger after banger, and all the tracks are done really well. And the show's no different, man. So, great. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the last band for tonight, and I want to start it with this. Leveler, we had them on a previous episode. Great show. I asked them to come back because I actually had a happy accident. So they sent me their track, and somehow I clicked on one of their other tracks, and we played this other song, and it had a music video with it. And I say it was a happy accident because everybody loved that song and music video. It was definitely a fun music video. It was a great song. And it just worked out great, even though I played the wrong damn song. So I was like, you know what? I want these guys to come back because they wanted me to play a certain track. So I owe it to them to play that track. So here we are again with Leveler, and I got Kyle in Discord. So Kyle, if you want to say hi to everyone.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, we hear you loud and clear. So yeah, Kyle, go ahead and for those that didn't catch that other episode, give us a little background into the band and a little insight into this track, and I'll get it ready to go.
Definitely, yeah. So we've been around since 2017, and these two, the track last week and the one this week, are actually featuring our new vocalist. He's been with us for just under 2 years now. But we just released this album in August, and the track he played last week, funny enough, the music video was my idea for that track, so I should have been on last week to talk about that. And then the one we're showing tonight was my vocalist's idea, and he's the one who did last week. So, but yeah, we just released the album By the Scythe. The track we're doing tonight is called By the Scythe. It's our third album, and yeah, just stoked to share it with everyone. And this video has only been out for 3 weeks now, something like that, 3-4 weeks. So not very long, and just excited to share it with everyone, and excited to see what everyone thinks. Because everyone else tonight, man, you guys have all killed it, absolutely phenomenal stuff. So very, very stoked to look all you guys up after this and crank your tunes in my car.
Yeah, I'm excited about it because, like I said, the last episode that Leveler was on, it was a great track. And just to give everyone an idea what the music video was, and Kyle can maybe back me up on some of this, but it had a lot. They were definitely having fun with it. There was like some Dungeons and Dragons like feels going on in there while they were, throwing down in their costumes. I don't know exactly what you guys' inspiration was, but it was definitely fun. Go ahead.
We were all drinking, and we were like, it'd be fun to troll Dungeons and Dragons. And all of our, most of my buddies play Dungeons and Dragons. So a lot of the actors in the video were my friends that, helped me figure out how to do it and how to do it properly, because they all play. So I was like, all right, give me ideas on funny things that we can do. So it was a lot of fun, and actually, I got to play my first, I don't know what you call it, journey, adventure, whatever.
It's I'm sorry. Let the Dungeons and Dragons nerd chime in. You played your first campaign.
Yes, did that. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I see why everyone's into it. I was like, oh, this is so addicting.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so that's just kind of the whole idea behind it, was have fun with it, and it was a fun video to shoot. And this one we're showing tonight was equally fun, but we've tried to take a little more serious approach to it, which is hard because we're not very serious people. So it was,
Awesome. All right. Well, without further ado, we're just going to hop straight into that one. This is By the Scythe by Leveler. Here we go. All right. So there we are with Leveler and By the Scythe. Another banger, man. I'm going to go straight into chat. Just so you know, Kyle, I think you are in chat, but I'm going to read it anyway. I see that you got some August Burns Red vibes from a few people. And I don't know if this was you, Kyle, or someone else from the band put that. Funny enough, the name of the band is actually from a Magic card, or is that the song title?
That's actually the name of the band is from a Magic card. So our original vocalist was like super into Magic, and we were struggling with band names, and he had a Magic card that was a leveler. And when the leveler enters the playing field, all other cards get destroyed or something. And we thought it was kind of cool. So
Nice, I like it, man.
Yeah.
It's a name with a meaning, and that's great. Yeah. So I'm looking at chat, and let's see. Copy palm mutes, mini breakdown riffs, love it. And again, just more ABR references, love it. All right.
yeah, we get asked that a lot actually, which is funny 'cause we love ABR. Oddly enough, none of us would say ABR is our influence though.
Funny how that works, huh?
Yeah, it is. But man, we're talking about some talented musicians. Those guys are just phenomenal, and they can't write a bad song.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of seeing ABR live whenever they first hit the scene with that first album. Can't remember the name of it, but yeah, they came through and they were opening for I think it was Azalea Dying and I can't remember who the other band was, but yeah, that's a great band, man, and they've grown so much since the beginning till now. But yeah, I
saw
do
them in
see.
a room with 20 people one time.
Oh yeah, yeah, those are great shows too, huh?
Now they're selling out everything, so
yeah, it's crazy.
guys are killing it.
Yeah, and you guys do have that metalcore influence for sure. ABR, I think last time on the other track, whenever I was talking to Abel, I felt a lot of Azalea Dying-esque things in the music you guys wrote too. So definitely that fast-paced metalcore for sure. And again, another great track, another great video. The video was fun to watch. Definitely a totally different vibe than the last one for sure, but it's still a great video. It matches the mood of the track, so very well done as far as that goes as well.
Thank you.
And that was at Aristides again, right? The same one that you had earlier.
Yeah. We decided we played both of ours in that one. We both have two of them, so we just first half of the video we used kind of our less flashy ones, and then when we got outside and there was fire, we were like, all right, we'll use our sparkly, flashy ones out here just to show better in the light. So
right on. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Great. Man, again, to all the bands tonight, amazing tracks. I said it in the last episode too. It was like whenever I started doing this, I had literally no expectations of how these shows were going to go. I don't listen to any of these tracks ahead of time, so that's what makes it fun for me, because it's not like I pre-listen to them and I have all these notes, so I'm kind of playing it on my heels the whole way through. But I've yet to be disappointed by any band I've had on here. All these tracks are amazing. They definitely showcase just different corners of the metal genre, and I love it. The whole point behind doing this was so we can get all the subgenres to come together, support each other, and lift each other up, man. And that was the goal, and so far it's been working out great. Bands have been showing up, showing off their different styles. We've been getting a ton of new listeners in the show to check you guys out, and we want to keep doing it. And like I said, if any of you guys ever want to showcase a new track, just hit me up and we'll get all you guys back in. For those of you listening, I'm going to put all the plugs for all these bands in the YouTube description whenever I upload there. I am getting a Facebook going. I had been working off of my personal Facebook for a while, but we got a Banger Wednesday one started, so I'm gonna start compiling information there. But yeah, the Spotify playlist, I do want to bring that up again. You know, if you're having trouble finding these bands for whatever reason, or having trouble finding my plugs anywhere for these bands, go to the Spotify playlist, look for Banger Wednesday. You can't miss it. It's got that like you see at the bottom left of this screen, the bright bluish green, whatever color you want to call that, Banger Wednesday logo on it. Go to it, and you can get to these bands' tracks that were played on this show. And then obviously, if you click on that band, you will go to that band's Spotify page, and you can see all their tracks. And you know, all roads lead to these guys. So definitely go find them, listen, follow them on everything that you can find them on. Show them love. That's what it's for. With that said, I'll just open up the floor to the bands, and if anyone in chat wants to say anything, you know, now would be a great time for you to, you know, say a few things if you want. Let's see. No, nothing. Okay.
Thank you, Forge. I mean, seriously,
no problem, man.
This is something that's bringing back to the community that.
No problem.
And
Yeah.
just isn't really. There's not a lot of light shining on it, and for the community, for you to be doing this, to be taking care of the bands, especially, you know, none of us have labels or doing any of that stuff, and so for you to like, all these indie artists and, you know, just local bands that aren't able to really get their name out there, except through, you know how Spotify is. It doesn't ever like to push the algorithm. Yep. If it does, it's going to push you straight to your top 10. But it's really cool that you're still doing this and getting us to all this exposure for these bands. And seriously, like every song we hear is like a banger. It's crazy to listen to all these bands, and I guess probably one of the biggest fears is you're going to have people come on and it's going to be not well mixed, or, you know, well, really it just doesn't sound that good. But every band I've heard on the last 2 times I've been on here, it's been like, I want to go see them live. Like, I want to go see them in shows. Like, the sound is so tremendous. So thank you, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll give you guys a little bit backstory. We talked about a little bit on the last episode. The whole reason I started this was because obviously, you know, I fall down the YouTube rabbit hole like anyone else, and you know, I have my favorite content creators that I watch, and honestly, it's always the same story. You know, Killswitch comes out with a new. I got a Killswitch shirt on. Killswitch comes out with a new song. The content creators go review it and do a reaction video. If, you know, some other, you know, national touring band comes out with a song, content creator goes listen to it and does a review, and that's great. But, you know, why is it just for those bands that are already getting the recognition? They're already in the algorithms. They're already going to be heard. You know, it just didn't seem fair, and I was like, you know, why not we come together and try and do something like that for us? Because again, back to the algorithm, we keep bringing it up, but it does help doing things like this, because the algorithm isn't just looking at how many times your song gets listened to, it's where it's getting listened to. So if the band's constantly releasing albums, then you click on it, or tracks, and you click on it, okay, that's doing one thing for the algorithm. But now if this band's song is getting clicked on their site and the Banger Wednesday playlist, you know, now it's getting these 2 different types of hits, and you start beating the algorithm. And YouTube, you put it on YouTube and you start tracking it, or TikTok and you start tracking it. The more different hits you get, the better the algorithm tracks for you. So that was the whole plan. I had an opportunity, like I said, I brought that plug in earlier, that I met these game streamers and they were helping me set up a stream. And so here we are giving it a shot, and it's been going great so far. We just need to keep that momentum going, keep supporting each other. And, that's what we're trying to do. But that's enough talk for me. But again, I just want to thank all you guys for, 1, showing up, and 2, just putting in the hard work to write these amazing songs. Because like, you know, Dominic said, if the songs weren't bangers and no one enjoyed listening to it, no one would show up and we wouldn't be doing these shows. So big kudos to you guys for that. And I mean, that's all I got to say, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, most
for
definitely.
real. And more importantly, thanks for hitting me up, because I didn't know about this at all. I had no idea who you were. I just had a post somewhere. You were like, "Hey, I'm doing this." I was like, okay, yeah, I'm coming."
Yeah. I'm not scared to reach out to anyone. But yeah, again, you guys are always welcome back. And if no one has anything else to say, we're going to go ahead and play out this episode.
I just want to add really quick, seconding the comment about wanting to see any of these bands live. Like, if any of you guys are ever coming through San Jose, San Francisco, California, anywhere around there, definitely hit me up. We don't have like the best metal community out here. It's like decent sometimes, but finding really, really good metal bands around here can be kind of hit or miss. So I'm always looking for more shows to go to. So anytime you guys are coming through and you want like crowd of people coming out, I got a lot of friends who are into metal. So hit me up. Definitely come out and show some love and support, because everyone's crushing it. So thank you again for having me out too, and for all the feedback, you guys.
Yep, great. Yeah, and just so you guys know, I'm in the New Orleans area, and if you ever are coming through, you're trying to bring your band through, just hit me up. I do know a few promoters out this way, and maybe I can get you guys hooked up as well. And I also know some bands, obviously. So yeah, hit me up if you're ever in the New Orleans area, or if you're just down here because you're trying to get drunk on Bourbon Street like everyone else and eat all of our food. Then yeah, hit me up then too. I'm down for that.
Right.
All right. So
yeah.
again, great show, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and play us out. Bands, if you want to hang out in Discord, mute it. I'm gonna play a song. We'll end the show, and then I'll just talk to you guys for a few minutes. So just hang on. And if you guys are okay with it, I'll go ahead and play a track from my band, Forged by Titans. And for all you listening, thanks for showing up. We'll see you next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time here on Twitch. And if you happen to miss it, it'll be on YouTube afterwards. All right, everyone. Thanks for dropping in. And let me cue up Forged by Titans. And this track is called Everyone Dies, Some Never Live. All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Later, you guys.
Remember every step, embrace every feeling. Venture into the unknown, return the voice forever. You have many choices to make. How will you be remembered? Did you drown in the void of life, or become a legend for eternity? You have many choices to make. How will you be remembered? Did you drown in the void of life, or become a legend for eternity? Drown in the void of shoulder tap to bite.